Hello everyone. Today's our topic is example of root locus in unit number 6, the root locus method. In the last session, we had studied about the different rules to solving the root locus and find the stability of the system. Today we will discuss about the different example using the root locus method. So first example is a feedback control system has an open loop transfer function g of s h of s is equal to k upon s, s plus 1, s plus 4. Sketch the root locus as k varied from 0 to infinite. So we can solve this example step by step. So step number 1, to find out the number of poles and 0 for the particular transfer function. Here first of all n is equal to number of poles. Here you can see that in the denominator we have 3 term s, s plus 1 and s plus 4. So our first pole value is s is equal to 0, the second value is s is equal to minus 1 and the third value is s is equal to minus 4. So the n is number of pole is equal to 3. Now next is we have to find the number of 0. Here you can see that in the numerator there is a no term with s. So the value of the 0 is equal to 0. Now step number 2, to find out the part of the real axis on the root locus. Okay, so we have to find the root locus area. For that we have to draw a graph with real axis and imaginary axis. Okay, starting with 0, this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Here 1, 2, 3, 4 and here 1j, 2j and 3j and here minus j, minus 2j and minus 3j. Okay, so here you can see that our one pole value is s is equal to minus s equal to 0, so we can put here the one pole. Then the second pole value is s is equal to minus 1, that means here, and the third pole value is s is equal to minus 4. Okay, now we have to find the root locus area. So starting from the first pole or 0 and ending with the second pole, we can draw the dark line. So this area is known as the root locus area. Now starting with the second pole or 0 and ending with the third pole or 0, this is our not root locus area. After that, starting with the third pole and 0 and ending with the 4, here only 3 pole is given, so ending with the minus infinite. So again this is our root locus area. Okay, so the particular transfer function we have 2 root locus area and 1 not root locus area. So this is the part of the real axis on the root locus. Now step number 3, to find out the angle of the asymptote, and the equation of the asymptote theta k is equal to 2k plus 1 180 divided by n minus m. K is equal to 0, 1, 2 up to n minus m minus 1. Here n is equal to number of pole and here the number of pole is 3 and the number of 0 m is equal to 0. So the value is 3 minus 0 minus 1, that equal to 2. So value of the k is equal to 0, 1, 2. So first of all, to find out the value of theta 1, put k is equal to 0, that means 2 into 0 plus 1 into 180 divided by n minus m, that means 3 minus 0 is equal to 180 divided by 3 and the angle is 60 degree. Now the second angle theta 2 is equal to, here put k is equal to 1, that means 2 into 1 plus 1 into 180 divided by 3. Okay, so we can get 3 into 180 divided by 3. 3 is cancel out, so we can get 180 degree, and theta 3 is equal to 2 into k is equal to 2. So 2 into 2 plus 1 into 180 divided by 3. Okay, so it is 5 into 180 divided by 3, and answer is 300. So we can get the three angle. Theta 1 is equal to 60 degree, theta 2 is equal to 180 degree, and theta 3 is equal to 300 degree. Okay, now rule number 4, to find out the centroid of this root locus, and the equation of the centroid is summation of the real part of the poles minus summation of the real parts of the 0 divided by n minus m. Here the value of the pole n is equal to 0, minus 1 and the minus 4, and there is a no 0 for this transfer function. So the centroid equation is equal to summation of the real part of the pole. Here there is a no imaginary part, so we can summation of 0, minus 1, minus 4 minus real part of the 0 is equal to 0, and n minus m gets means the minus 0. So we can get minus 5 by 3. This is the center point of the system, and the value of the minus 5 by 3 is equal to minus 1.67. Okay, so this is the centroid of this system. Now, to find out the breakaway point, that means dk by ds is equal to 0. So, first of all, we have to write the characteristic equation of the system, and the equation will become 1 plus g of s, h of s is equal to 0. Okay, and the value of g of s, h of s is equal to k upon s, s plus 1, s plus 4 is equal to 0. Simplify this equation, we can get s square plus s in bracket s plus 4 plus k is equal to 0. That means s cube plus 4s square plus s square plus 4s plus k is equal to 0. That means s cube plus 5s square plus 4s plus k is equal to 0. Now we have to find out dk by ds. So first of all, we have to find the value of k. So k is equal to minus s cube minus 5s square minus 4s minus so k is equal to minus s cube minus 5s square minus 4s. Now we have to find the dk by ds, and the value is equal to 0. That means dk by ds, so we have the differentiate dk with respect to s. So s cube differentiate, that means 3s square minus 10s minus 4 is equal to 0. That means 3s square plus 10s plus 4 is equal to 0. And simplify this equation, we can get the value of s. S is equal to simplify this equation, and we can get s is equal to minus b plus or minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. From this equation, a is equal to 3, b is equal to 10 and c is equal to 4. Okay, so put the value of a, b, c in this equation, and we can get s is equal to minus 0.47 and minus 2.87. So this is the breakaway point of this system. Now step number 6, find out the angle of departure. Theta t is equal to 180 minus summation of theta p minus summation of theta z. Now how we can find the angle of departure? For that we have compulsory roots or the poles are located in the imaginary axis. Okay, here you can see that the pole location are at the 0 point, at the -1 point and at the -4 point. So there is a no pole located in the imaginary axis, so we cannot find the value of theta d. So particular this equation or this transfer function theta d is equal to 0. We do not find the value of theta d. Okay, but because there is a no poles in the no poles and 0 in the imaginary axis. To find out the intersection point with j omega axis using the Routh array method. So first of all, using the Routh array, we have to write down the characteristic equation for this particular transfer function, and the equation is 1 plus g of s h of s is equal to 0. That's why 1 plus k upon s plus 1, s plus 4 is equal to 0, and the simplified version of this equation is equal to s cube plus okay, so simplify this equation, so we can get s cube plus 5s square plus 4s plus k is equal to 0. Now we have draw a Routh array from this equation. So the Routh array, the rules of the Routh array is always start with the maximum power of s. Here the maximum power of s is cube, so s cube, s square, s raised to 1 and s raised to 0. So for that we have to write down the coefficient of the s cube, and it is 1. We have skipped the term and we have write down the coefficient of s, so it is 4. Now we in this second row we have to write down the coefficient of s square, and it is 5, and then we have skip the term and we have to write down the coefficient of s raised to 0, and it is k. Okay, now we have to cross multiply to this equation. So 5 into 4, that means 20, minus k into 1, that means k divided by 5, and the value of b2 is equal to 0. Now we have to find the value of a, and for that we have to multiply 20 minus k divided by 5 into k minus 0 divided by 20 minus k divided by 5. So this term is cancelled out and we can get the value of k. Okay, now we have to find the value of k. So first of all, k greater than 0, and the second term 20 minus k divided by 5 greater than 0, that means 20 is equal to k. So we can get k is equal to 20. Okay, now we have to write down the auxiliary equation using the row s square. So the equation will become 5s square plus k is equal to 0. Now put the value of k in this equation, we can get 5s square plus 20 is equal to 0. That means s square plus 4 is equal to 0. So we can get s is equal to plus or minus 2g. So this is the solution of this equation. So using the Routh array, we have to find the intersection point with the imaginary axis, and the value of this intersection point is plus 2j and the minus 2j. Now the last step is to draw the root locus of this system. So first of all, we have to draw a real axis and the imaginary axis. Okay, this is my real value and this is my imaginary value. One pole are located in the 0 value. The second is the -1, then -2, there is a no pole and the -2, -3, and the last pole is the -4. Okay, so the pole value is 0, -1, -4. Now part of the real axis, it is vary from the -4 to 0. So now next we have to draw a angle of asymptote, and from that we have to draw a centroid of this system. Here you can see that the value of centroid is -1.5 minus 1.67. This is the centroid of the system, and put the protector to this here and draw the angle. The first angle is the 60 angle, the second angle is the 180, and the third angle is the 300. This is the angle of this system, and always you can draw the angle in this dotted line. Now we have to decide which breakaway point is valid and which breakaway point is invalid. So first of all, we have to decide in this step number 2, okay, which area is for the root locus area and which area is for the not root locus area. So 0 to minus 1 is the root locus area, and minus 4 to minus infinite is also a root locus area. In this area, minus 0.47 is covered and minus 2.87 is not covered. So this point is the valid for this root locus, and this breakaway point is not valid point for this root locus. So we can draw here minus 1.47 breakaway point. Okay, and now we have drawn the intersection point with the j omega axis here. The first point is the 2j and the second point is the minus 2j. Okay, now we have to draw the root locus. This is my breakaway point, this is my intersection point. So starting with this intersection point and ending with this point, and the direction of the arrow is like this manner. So this is the final answer of this equation. Thank you everyone.